Thanks for watching eSportsMonies. Subscribe and enable notifications with the bell icon so you don't miss any of this questionable content.
And if you hit the like button, I'll probably get more views or something, so go on and do that too, I guess. Thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is eSportsMonies, ESM, Mac10, whatever you want to call me, and welcome to another episode of Pub Trash. I should probably change the title. Cool. Emperor, you still with me?
Yep, still here.
Excellent. Cool. Oh, look, I have all of my subscriber stuff up on the page, but that's okay. I don't think I'm actually violating any terms of service by showing what my subscriber numbers look like, and I've kind of been pretty transparent about those in the past. What is up, Atlas? Atlas is... Oh, that's from last night. Alright, I think I need to update my restream. So... Whoops. Damn it. I don't think I had anything important up there. Hold on, I'm muting my display capture. Do you have anything terribly important on my Facebook that just got shown? No, I did not. Cool. I'm just gonna close. Okay, so I'm just closing all of the tabs on the monitor that I'm using for this. Good God. Everyone knows my name anyway, so. What's up, everybody? Happy New Year to those of you that are currently celebrating the New Year. I know some people, a decent chunk of the of this viewer base has already had New Year's because a lot of people are Southeast Asia. So, Happy New Year to you guys, and if you are currently like us over here in the US, we are still waiting on the New Year. Okay, so it looks like Restream.io is now working. Double checking the Twitch output. It appears we are live, though I'm currently looking at an ad. And new hat for today. New old hat. It's actually a real new era hat. Old school. Back when Navi was... This is toward the end of Navi's relevance when this hat was released. Cool.
They're still relevant.
I mean, culturally.
They did okay. What did they get? It was like a top 8 tournament finish. Recently.
Yeah, they have been they've been doing a lot better in the last few months than they have in a very long time. Which is exciting. I think they got hurt by patch 707 though.
Yeah, they're very patch dependent. I think Dendy's very patch dependent.
Yeah, alright, I'm gonna turn up your gain a little bit because I'm gonna turn up your gain to 1.9. I'm gonna turn up my desktop volume slightly. Say something?
Kind of quiet. Hello?
Yeah, you're good now. You might be too loud. Okay. Everybody on stream, is Emperor too loud now? I gave him a gain filter of like +2, so it's pretty small, but I also turned you up on my desktop. So, on the docket for today, what do you think? When do you think we're going to get a new patch?
I don't know, a few weeks. Like,
yeah.
I don't think there's going to be like a major patch anytime soon, though. Obviously, well, I think we're going to wait until
we usually
February or March, maybe.
Yeah, I was going to say we normally get one like this. The post TI gap is really big. But generally speaking, we actually get a pretty substantial series, like at least 2 or 3 substantial patches. So like last year, between the post TI patch and TI, we had 6 big boy patches because we had 7.01 through 6. So we had 6 big patches.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the game is reasonably balanced right now. So I'm not expecting like anything major. Like there's nothing really broken besides like minor bugs and everything.
Yeah, I think
there's
I mean,
the one that actually just got released today. Do you know why that was? It was like that morph thing changed.
Oh, we got a bounce pad. I mean, I'm looking at a main client update on the Reddit, but
it's a bug fix. It's not a.
Oh.
Do you know what his bug fix was though?
Oh God, lay it on me.
Okay, so if you had a Morphling and you could replicate into one of your allied heroes, right? So the guy had an Invoker on his team. So what he would do is he would queue up and just spam click exhort like 30 times or whatever, and like before that they would all actually like register onto the like the server. He would morph back into Morphling, and because Morphling doesn't have the same restrictions as Invoker, he would get like 30 or 40 instances of exhort on himself, so he basically hit for like 10,000 damage or something stupid like that. And it was like 17 minutes in, and he was literally walking around one-shotting everything through backdoor protection. It didn't matter. He two-shot the throne at like 17 minutes. Just ran through everybody.
I love that. I'm gonna call you back because your voice is cutting in and out. Might be a connection issue on your end.
I don't know.
Gotta bear with me for the loud noises. Okay, hopefully it's better.
That's better.
It sounds almost like you have like a push to talk or a like something that. It sounds like you have like an open mic where your threshold's set too high.
Oh, anything open up? Well, I have Discord open actually.
Maybe that's pissing it off? I don't know. We could go on Discord.
We could. If you wanted to do that, let's just swap over to Discord.
Yeah, let's try
I don't
that.
have your. Send me your Discord link and I'll get in there.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I have muted the monitor. Hashtag production quality. Woo! Ooh-wee, Rick!
Ooh-wee.
Ooh-wee! Ooh-wee! Alright. Where is... Okay. That's my Discord. I hate the overlay of Discord, by the way.
Yeah.
Cool. Have you added me?
I am working on it.
Oh. God. Yes.
Not finding you.
It doesn't have an @ symbol at the start of it.
Yeah, it seems can't look.
All right, what?
With Discord,
Send me yours. EVGA Precision Overclock software, such a hot game right now. Also, I never understood why that needed to be on Steam.
Do you have a server?
You'll have to ask them. It says I have to ask you to add me. I do not have a server. Let me disable streamer mode, maybe that'll help. Yeah, try adding me again.
Oh, it's like looking for servers or something. How do you add a friend on?
Click the top button with like the 3 people, the blue one for friends online, then click friends, then click add friend. Sorry everybody, we'll be done with this in just a second. Let me double check my voice and video, output device, input device, default. Okay, cool. Got it. Alright, I'm gonna calling you on that and ending this call. Testing. Can you hear me? I can't hear you at all if you're talking through Disc.
Hello?
Oh. Cool. Hold on one.
Bit to connect.
Hold on 1 second. Okay, say something.
Hello?
Excellent. Okay. Let me try something else. Say something again.
Hello?
Okay, cool. Excellent. That's so much better. Okay, guys. Say some. Ooh, wow, that was really loud. Say something again.
Hello?
Okay. I think you should be good.
Okay, sweet.
Okay. Turn the display capture back on. All right, and we're back. Cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show after a good 10-minute delay. But anyway, this is Emperor, my good buddy. Emperor, what's your MMR currently, if you know?
4800.
He's 4800. Apparently in turbo mode, I'm like okay. Like if I'm just spamming Sven on turbo mode, I'm about the same place I was with Lycan spamming all pick back in the day. Like I've been playing against everybody with the like all the people that have actually had badges have been the 4K badge. Whatever that's, I don't remember the name of it.
It's the Manta badge.
It's the one before Divine, I think. Divine's like 5,040 MMR gives you Divine, I think.
Yeah. So I'm like 300 MMR from Divine.
Yeah, I kind of like that they've just put everybody in Divine together. Like, if you're above 5K, you're just like, you're relevant. Like, because that's like a pretty low, I think that's a pretty low and fair point of entry.
Well, I don't know. There's even like small discrepancies in Divine, like quite a bit actually. Like,
Small, yeah.
Like
There's
a Divine 0 or Divine 1 cannot compete with like.
Well, yeah. There's 5,000 MMR spanning Divine.
Yeah.
But I think that it's cool that they've basically just gone. Yeah, you're like, you're. They just. I think it's interesting that Valve just mentally groups everyone together after that point.
Basically, everybody's really good when you're at that point.
Yeah, I think that's the point where Valve goes, if you've broken this threshold, then like you're welcome to the conversation, so to speak.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Divine player.
Divine player.
Divine player.
Happy New Year and please kill me. New Year's resolution. Oh, Planet Odd. Is he actually playing
Reddit right now?
Yeah, I'm looking at Reddit. I've got it on the stream actually. Is Rezo actually playing on Planet Odd right now?
That was a while ago, I think.
Yeah, I thought he was like back on Empire or some team that mattered. No offense,
so.
Planet Odd.
Is it Planet Odd?
I'm gonna double check. Currently plays for OG. Yeah, OG's current lineup is No Tail, Resolution, S4, JRX, and Fly. So
it's a solid lineup.
Yeah, that's like, why would you post this picture of him on Planet Odd? It gives people the wrong impression by far. Because Planet Odd is like, I don't even know if that team currently exists, to be honest. Like, and if it did, it wouldn't be as good as OG. Yeah, they don't currently have a squad. They parted ways with their squad on August 1st.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought.
Their old squad was pretty good though. It was Resolution, Weeha, Moon Meander, Misery, and Soxa. And their coach was Blitz. So I guess that takes away from it, but I just feel like whenever I see a coach, it's like, you couldn't have got Bulba. At least.
I think Blitz is fine. Blitz is a good player.
Blitz is like, I don't know about him in the coaching position though, because I've only heard him commentate and seen him play Storm Spirit.
He's good at both.
He's quite good at Storm. He's quite good
the original
at Storm.
Storm spammer.
Yeah, just like Merlini is the original Zeus spammer.
Yeah. I think Blitz is good. I think he has a good mind for the game. And he's also like a reasonably relevant player because I think he's. I don't know what his.
He's
like,
definitely
current
something
badge or anything
divine.
like that, but he's divine something. He was like a 6K player back when MMR was a thing, and he didn't like really try to get that higher. He was just playing for fun a lot of the time.
Yeah. I think a lot of people don't realize the people that commentate Dota for a living, the people that are actually like talking about the game for a living, and people go like, God, this guy's a noob and doesn't know shit about the game. When MMR came out, within like 3 months after MMR came out, and for reference, nobody really placed higher than the mid 4Ks. Like when MMR came out, I think the best players in the world placed around 5. Like the absolute best, like the miracles of the world. Though he wasn't.
They were like low
good.
5s.
Yeah, they placed
like
they placed low 5s. If you were a top tier player and you weren't like Dendy, you were placing in the 4K bracket. And Toby Wan was like mid 4Ks within 3 months of like MMR coming out, which was a huge deal back then. That was like before I hit 4700s. And the earlier you go chronologically, the more 4 and 5K and above mean. Because that was back in the days where if you were 5K, you were top 200 in North America. Actually, in those days, I think if you were 5K, you were top 200 in EU as well. So.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I got originally ranked when ranking first came out, or like matchmaking first came out. I was like 4,030 or something.
30.
Like that.
I was 3,200.
I was like 4,000.
I might have actually been lowest. I might have
just
been 3K.
above 4K. I was like just at 4K.
I was just at 3.
But yeah, so obviously, like it was still pretty good. But a lot, like going back to like pro players being like reasonably good.
What's
like
up,
you
Andrew?
look at a lot of them, and players like Draskell is like a 5.5K player normally. Or like
yeah, Draskell, is he that good really? I knew he was 5K. I knew he was around 5K.
He's like mid 5s, I think.
That's
like right now, like he's had to like climb back, and he's not really like a ranked player. But like when it was a thing, he was like mid 5s.
Because I think that would put him top 200 NA right now.
No,
it doesn't.
Definitely not.
They don't have the MMRs listed anymore. That's bullshit.
Yeah, no, but definitely not.
That's such bullshit, though. They don't list the MMRs. The leaderboard now goes up to like 1,600 people.
Yeah, he's not a divine player right now because he has had to climb back.
I thought he was.
Because everybody's MMR took like a huge hit. Basically, if you were over like 4,500, your MMR got shrunk.
Oh.
Like when I got redone into badges, I went down to like 41 or 42 or something like that, 4,200.
Huh.
Like from like 4.9. So I'm back up to like 4.7.5, 4.8 right now. But like it was a bit of a climb.
I can't believe that they don't show like MMR on the leaderboards anymore.
Oh, why would they?
It's bullshit because they've always done it, and it's cool, and it gives you a very, very specific, transparent value for how good the best players in the world are compared to you.
I think after a certain amount, it's just.
I think so too,
really
but I think at the very low end, it's interesting. At the top end, it's like, well, yeah, it's Miracle. He's just gonna keep winning because he's Miracle. Like you're just gonna have to keep seeing. The only thing that being at the absolute top tells you is how hard can you carry the game when you're matched with a bunch of people worse than you. That's all that it says. Like when you're in the top 20 in the world, because your MMR is so high that you just get matched with people that are like half your MMR against people that are like a tier below you.
Yeah, and part of the okay, this is my opinion with like rankings and stuff like that. Is it's a lot harder to gain rank when you don't play high impact positions.
Yeah, 100% agree.
So if you're a player like myself, for example.
Yeah, if you play like the off lane, you're an off lane main, aren't you?
I know, I'm position 4.
Okay, so yeah, even lower impact role, yeah.
Well, it's not necessarily a low impact role. It's just not
less of a farm priority.
less of a farm priority. If you play less of a farm priority, it's a lot harder to gain MMR.
Yeah.
Just purely to the fact that you're probably going to have people who don't necessarily play around the strengths of it, because I'm sure everybody has had that where their carry or their mid just seems completely out of touch with how the game is supposed to go, right?
Yeah.
Or
it's the
even
most
their
frustrating thing in the
supports.
world.
And there's not a lot you can do about it because your hero can only do so much, right?
It's
so
like
how I see it is, you can get these like top 20 players in the world, and if you put one of them on like a hard position 5, like they're gonna play at like a 4,500 5k level, just because they don't have experience doing it.
Nah, they're gonna play it like a 1.
Yeah, they're not. They're gonna try to play it, and like they'll have like a pretty good idea of how to do it, just because they're an excellent player, but they're not gonna have the same sort of intricacies that maybe like a, for example, like a 45 or a 4,700 MMR
only
player,
support player does.
only support player would. So I see.
That's a good point. I think Miracle might actually be an exception to that rule, because I think he could actually. I don't think he'd play. I don't think he'd play a support like a support, but I think he has the high. I think he's got one of the largest hero pools of those like superstar mid players.
I don't necessarily think that. I've never seen him play a hard 5 ever.
Oh so, yeah.
Like it's kind of hard to.
I don't think you'll ever see me play a hard 5 either.
Right. So I mean, you don't see that. How I think a better player to kind of like show an example of that is Fear, because I think Fear is probably
that's
the most multifunctional player in the game right now.
I would not argue against that. I think I would actually. So like one of my new favorite phrases is "I'm not dying on that hill." I think I would die on that hill. I think Fear is. If anybody in the chat has an idea of who's a more flexible player than Fear, I'm open to the argument here. But I think Fear is probably the most flexible professional player in terms of heroes and roles. He's just played everything for so long, and he's the reason why I get suspicious of Loda making a new team of people that are like 1 or 2 pub stars, then 2 people I've never heard of. And when I look at Loda, I'm like, you are basically Fear, except you only play position 1, and I don't think you're as good of a captain.
Yeah, I think another like very multifunctional player again would probably be Aoi, because he's played a lot of different roles in various teams.
I don't think Aoi has. I think Fear can hold his own in pretty much every role against the best players in the world, except in the mid position. I don't think Fear can hold up to the people that only play mid.
Yeah, I agree.
Versus Aoi, I feel like is like that in both mid and position 1. He can do them, but I don't think he's the absolute highest tier with the 1 or the 2 position. But I think he's absolutely on the top tier of the 3 other positions. Which is probably more valuable, because really, when you make a world-class team and you have someone that's as good as Aoi, you probably have the money to get yourself a superstar in the 1 or the 2 position, so you buy it.
I don't know. Again, Aoi hasn't really been relevant for a little while, but I just know that he's.
I feel like it's mostly just since he got fucked by EG.
I don't think he got screwed over by them. I think it was just.
He 100% did.
No, he won a TI. Like, who cares?
Well, I mean, he won a TI, but like EG 100% gave him the finger. He was very salty about it. EG was embarrassed about it. It was a kind of unprofessional move from EG. It was one that he was not happy about it. The only reason it occurred was because EG had the foresight to go, the best way that we can possibly stay relevant is if we get Arteezy right now, because Arteezy's willing to join us. And he's not only been an incredible player, but they synergize really well with him because they play with him for so long. So they immediately dumped Aoi for him. And I think Aoi loses in every sense of the word at that decision, in that exchange. I mean, yes, he did. He won with them, but when have we ever seen a roster swap like most teams that make top 2 TI will not do a roster swap because they go, holy... I mean, if you make top 4 TI, you're probably not going to change anybody because you're like, unless you... Maybe if you're EG, maybe if you're Secret, top 4 isn't good enough. But most teams get top 4 and they're like, we can improve. Hell yeah, it sucks, but this is also a major victory. We're one of the best teams in the whole world. We just got a huge amount of money. EG gets first place and they're like, you know what we're going to do? The first thing we're going to do? You know what I'm doing as soon as I get home? I'm kicking Howie.
Yeah. No, I think it was, like, again, I don't see it as being a bad move because they tried to do something that would increase the team even further, and I think a lot of it was PPD's, like, him not agreeing with Owie as, like, a...
I don't think it had anything to do with Owie.
On like a technical basis?
I don't think it had anything to do with him. Well,
they said, no, there was like an interview with him, and they were like, yeah, we didn't agree on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they can say whatever they can say whatever they want, though. At the end of the day, if you won TI, it works well enough that you literally are the best team in the world. The only reason they kicked him is because Arteezy was available, and they would have kicked... As soon as Arteezy's available, they look at their roster and go, who are we getting rid of? And he might have been the obvious choice for that reason, but they would have gotten rid of anyone for Arteezy because they would get rid of, like, if they had access to Miracle, I think they'd give up Miracle for Arteezy because they like playing with Arteezy so much, and he's on that similar level. Like, yeah. They absolutely would have dumped anyone.
I agree, and I think that those guys all get along.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Miracle or the Universe swap?
Was this recent?
Yes.
I didn't hear about this. What happened?
Universe got kicked.
From EG?
Yeah.
When?
Like a week or week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that.
Who'd they replace him with?
Misery.
Okay, so he left on the 20th. Oh yeah, that was 11 days ago. So was this a kick or was this him? Because he leaves a lot. Like, he and even when
he left once.
What?
He left once. He left once to go to Secret, and then he left Secret to go back to EG, and that was it.
Universe
that was
is
his entire player career.
But I thought he did other stuff. I thought he was like in the same boat as like Zai, where he would leave occasionally to like work on things in his life that aren't Dota.
No.
Okay, so he's been full-time pro, and they kicked him.
Yep.
Okay, so the only reason I can think of this is that EG is a juggernaut. Like, make no mistake, they are very possibly the most valuable esports organization in the world, and like a year or two ago, I would have said even before TI5, I would have said without a question, they are the most valuable firm in the world. They probably still are, even though they've been sort of fractured and repurchased by PPD after Alex Garfield retired. That being said, they might have looked at Misery and gone, he's equivalent and probably cheaper to pay than Universe. Because I really don't look... There's no world where I look at this lineup and go, Misery is worth more to my team than Universe, especially given their current roster and the way those players interact with each other.
Yeah, because I think it's...
I like Bulba's coach.
Position mid. If you're position 1, Arteezy position 2.
Yeah. Yeah. Arteezy mid, Fear farm, I think, is the way it goes.
Sumail off lane.
Yeah. That's correct.
It's
crit 4, Misery 5.
Crit 4, Misery 5.
I'm looking at the wiki. Actually, I'll bring this tab over for you guys on the show. So Arteezy and Fear alternate between the 1 and the 2 position. I think Arteezy's pretty much always mid, but sometimes that position becomes the 1. So they kind of just have this 1 and 2. Basically, these are the people that AFK farm. And depending on the lineup,
it's like Liquid with Matumba Men and
yeah, exactly. Very good.
Can swap farm priority.
That's a very good analogy. So Misery is the drafter. So a couple of things about this roster. First and foremost, I've already said my piece about Misery and Universe. I don't think you kick Universe for Misery, like, ever. Like, Misery is a great player. He's shown time and time again that he's world class. and he's definitely undervalued on Optic, but I don't know. I think he's a little overvalued on EG, because when I look at EG, there's certain players I think that they get more value because they're on EG than if they're on another team, because they play so well with people like Fear that have always been there. But in addition to that, I look at EG. It's weird. It's so weird that I'm actually saying this sentence, but I look at EG and Team Liquid and think to myself, you guys are, if you're on one of these two teams, you are the best in the world. You're especially outside of China, but even including the Chinese scene, if you're on one of those two squads, you are a competitor for the best. You are considered equivalent as the best in the world at your specific position. You're that good.
I'm gonna completely disagree with you.
Okay, go on.
I don't think AG is gonna be top 5 in the next major.
I don't think so right now either.
I don't think they're gonna be top 5 in the next major either. And I think they're gonna limp into TI next year. Like, they'll still go, but I think they'll won't be favorites. I see the support duo of Crit and Misery. Like, I totally might be wrong. Like, don't get me wrong. But I'm not worried about Arteezy. He'll function as he's always.
You and I have the same concerns as Crit and Misery.
No.
Really?
That's part of it. But I don't have an issue with Fear because he's always an excellent player. I have hesitations about Sumail in the off lane because I think he's going to be too greedy for the position.
That's I could see that. Depends on the hero.
It's practicing.
Yeah.
But I think his hero pool is going to be incredibly narrow.
Yeah. He'll have to be Bulldog-esque. He'll have to embrace the narrow hero pool, I think, to be successful in that role.
And I think Crit is an excellent player, and always Misery is an excellent player. But I think those bottom 3 are going to have synergy issues. So I see them as being good, but not excellent. Yeah, we're talking about EG, I think, right? So
I think one of the biggest problems they have. So Bulba is an incredible coach. And Misery absolutely should be. I mean, I don't know that much about Misery's drafting ability. I really don't. I haven't paid attention to him enough to really go. Like, I don't remember if he was drafting for DC back in the day, or for Planet Odd. I would assume he was for Planet Odd, but I don't know if he drafted for DC. But
I think he drafted for DC.
Okay, so he's pretty solid drafter, but. You're allowed to have I believe you're allowed to have the coach in the booth with you at Valve events when you make your draft.
Yep.
Why the fuck isn't PPD your coach?
Because he's playing on a pro team.
But he owns the faction.
No,
like,
he left. He left EG, dude.
No, I think he left as the CEO, but I think he still owns the brand. He would have had to sell it to leave because he bought the brand for like $1 million from Garfield.
I don't think he's really that into EG anymore. Like, I think he's moved on.
Okay, well, if he's permanently moved on from EG, then I think their glory days are behind them. Because I think he doesn't
want to coach. He wants to play. He's playing right now. He wouldn't be playing if he didn't want to do that.
Yeah, but it's PPD. Like, at the end of the day, PPD's never been a very... Like, PPD has actually been, on paper, like, a pretty bad... I think... I don't know if you and I talked about this, or if it was Wired and I who talked about this, comparing PPD and Puppy, whereas a lot of people consider Puppy a weak player and an incredible drafter. PPD's even more extreme in that regard. He's, like, an insane drafter, but I think he's mechanically, like, a super weak player.
Yeah. I think he's not mechanically very strong. That doesn't matter.
He was born to be a coach.
That don't. No, he's born to play hard position 5 because you don't necessarily have to hit creeps that well. So
I just think
it's not that important to hit creeps that well when you're a position 5. Like, really, you just have to make smart positioning decisions and like drafting decisions. That's literally his entire thing. You don't need super strong mechanical players on everything single position. It's just not important.
A carbon bond. Oh, we're talking about. Sorry, I just noticed it's 3 minutes late. My bad. I'm not sure who we were talking about 3 minutes ago. Currently, we're talking about PPD. But Well, the thing about PPD is the only thing about him that's ever really, and I don't mean this in any disrespect to the guy, but the only thing that's ever stood out to me about him is his drafting ability, and it is so absurdly good that you could literally be dead weight on the team with his drafting skills. Like, the drafts that he has pulled out have just, like, watching him draft in series where his team has stomped, you're like, God, what can you do against that? He's going to corner you. He's going to corner you every time. Watching him draft is more exciting to me than watching Puppy draft back in the day. Like, he's so flippin' good at it. And
yeah, and he wants to play, so that's why he's on Optic.
Yeah.
Not coaching.
I think it's not. Oh, Carbon Bond, I'm talking to Emperor. He's a buddy of mine who's 4,700 MMR, 4,800 MMR. 48. Gotta get them 100 esports monies in there.
That's like 4 games, man.
4 in a row, though. Or 4
in a
row.
row.
Net.
Dude, I went on I think it was like a 9-game win streak, and then I lost 4 in a row, and then I won 5 in a row. It's so weird, man.
But yeah, if PPD is for real gone from the activities of EG in a permanent sense, then they're gonna limp. They're gonna limp.
You could look him up on Liquipedia. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure he's not really involved with.
Also, Liquipedia wouldn't show anything if he's trying to distance himself from the organization because of the fact that he owns it and is playing on another team. Then Liquipedia wouldn't like, no one's going to be talking about that unless they're talking about him in a you should be legally held accountable for this. This is a scandal sense, because otherwise it could be interpreted as match fixing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
he stepped down as the CEO. Go up to that first paragraph. First paragraph. Right at the end of it.
In August of 2017, he stepped down as CEO of EG.
Yep.
Manager, location. It doesn't say who owns it, though.
Nope, but I think it's he's not really involved anymore.
Well, the idea would be, because he has to be involved because he spent like $1 million. Like, I don't know if it was a full $1 million. That's what people were saying, but it was a very.
Probably got a severance package, dude. He probably got his money back. We don't know details, obviously, but you just
that would require an entire team. That would require everyone involved to give him a very large amount of money for him to get his money back and leave. He would have had to really, really want to leave.
Which I think he did. I don't think he enjoyed it, but he wasn't really talked about. So,
hold on, I'm reading. So they don't currently have a CEO. They have a COO. They have a managing director. So I think he still. I'm pretty sure he still owns it. But the idea is, you have
he might still own it, but he doesn't really deal with the day-to-day.
Well, the idea is he can't deal with the day-to-day, and he literally, legally cannot deal with the day-to-day, because if you get into a situation where Optic plays EG, then there's a match-fixing scandal immediately.
True.
And people were saying the same shit back when Alex Garfield owned both Alliance and EG, and I am sure there would have been rules put in place where the same, like, there would have been restrictions put in place where the same org can't own, like, teams can't be connected in that way if they ever played each other at the highest level of play, and there was ever an issue with that. But at the time that Alliance was at their peak, EG was so bad that Alliance just rolled them every time they played, and it was never an issue. EG, you didn't have to tell EG to throw because they couldn't beat Alliance in a fair fight anyway.
Yep.
But nowadays, especially, people are becoming more and more in tune to that. Like, people are looking for any sense of corruption, any sense of gambling, any sense of match fixing, just because of, like, how many scandals esports as a whole, not necessarily Dota 2, but esports as a whole has endured in the last couple of years. So,
Yeah, you see it a bit in Dota though, like all those South American kids.
Yeah, Smash.
Like Smash, and there's a few others too.
Yeah, there's actually like a couple dozen, but Smash was the only one that I really liked.
Yeah, Smash is a really good player.
Yeah. Was.
I think he's still really good.
He's done. Well, he's done.
I don't. I honestly think they'll reverse it because look what happened to Solo. He bet the whole 3-2-2 meme.
Have you seen my video on Solo?
No.
I have like an 11-minute video that's like I put a massive amount of effort into. That's like super like ridiculously well edited. For my content, where I just talk about the legend of Solo. Solo, so he has played in like a couple of tournaments, or Smash has played in a couple of tournaments since he got banned.
Yeah, they're not Valve tournaments.
Yeah, and they aren't affiliated with Valve in any way. However, Valve is quickly like expanding and taking over the entire scene. So, they're not going to reverse the decision. They will not.
I think they will.
It's been 18 months already.
I think they will eventually.
Solo was back in 9.
Was like 2 years.
Yeah, Solo was back in 9 months though, and Solo's original ban was never to be lifetime. It was a like temporary. It had a temporary tone to it, and it was only from Starladder.
It's true.
Valve made no official decision about it. In fact, Solo is the reason that Smash won't be allowed back in, because Solo got a pass because he was the first one to get caught.
Okay, this is my viewpoint on the whole match fixing thing. I feel for those South American guys. I really do. It's not like I don't think they're doing it out of being like, oh, hey, easy money. It's just literally like we can't afford food.
I agree.
Right, like it's at a point where like they're trying to be like pro players, and obviously like there needs to be some sort of like decision. Like again, I'm not really like a professional on the economics of South America, but I can tell you like right now in like Venezuela and stuff like that, it's not that good right now.
Yeah.
Right. So it's hard for a lot of young people down there to actually make a living. So I don't see it as these guys are like trying to take the easy way out. I think it's actually them just trying to survive, doing something that they like. So I
said the same about Solo in my Solo video.
Well, like, there's lots of pro players who were obviously quite poor before they kind of broke into the limelight, so to speak. Like, I think Mag, the assist player, the Russian player, Mag, he was homeless for a while before he kind of did pretty well in, I think it was Empire, or Vega, something like that.
Oh yeah, one of those big CIS teams.
Yeah, he was like top 5 out of TI or something like that. And he was definitely not doing too well. I know there's a couple Chinese players who were also like that as well. I think Mushi was actually one of them who was not doing really well before he kind of broke into it. So it's definitely just like an issue in general with a lot of young players trying to break into it. It's just they don't have the capital to survive. So I don't see it as... I see it as like it's a bad thing and like they should be punished for it, but I don't think it should be like a lifetime ban because they're really good players and it kind of cripples the South American scene.
I think I'd agree with that. I think Valve should have been very... I think Valve should have by now given... Like, I understand if Valve comes out and says, you're just straight up banned forever until you hear from us again, and then I think Valve has like a couple of months where they make a decision and come back and say, you have X number of years or months where you can't play. At this juncture, I don't think they should have lifetime bans, but I think that they will have lifetime bans. I also don't feel strongly enough that they shouldn't have lifetime bans that I would fight for it because of the precedent set before them. Because
it's a precedence thing now.
Yeah, Valve came out and said after Solo happened, like, it wasn't after Solo happened, it was actually after another match-fixing scandal that occurred between Solo and that, where Valve came out and laid down the law and said, like, this is how we're going to treat this from henceforth.
Yeah.
And then initially, I think the only reason that Valve can... It's weird because even though I think it would benefit everyone to have them back, and I don't think they'd do it again, Valve has to sort of stick by what they've said. And I think Valve is in kind of a precarious position. I think the only way that Valve gets around this and Valve gets to say, all right, you know what, we're going to let you back in, is Valve saying, when we banned you, it was only to Valve events. And back then, there were events that weren't Valve events. Nowadays, there's only Valve events.
Yep. So, I don't know. I see it as being unjustly harsh at the moment, but I mean, it is what it is.
I think it's just. I think that sometimes just can be. I think sometimes just or fault. I think sometimes by the book is too much. I think it's just in the sense that it's by the book, and like they knew beforehand. They could have looked up beforehand what would happen to them.
Yeah. I mean, it's like all sports. Like if you look at Pete Rose, like in baseball. I don't know if you know who that is.
Mm-mm.
He basically got banned from all baseball activities because he was sports betting while still a player.
Mm.
And he got banned. He's also an asshole in real life, but you know. He has a gambling addiction, and he was gambling while he was still playing, and then they were just like, well, you're a really good player, and you probably should be in the Hall of Fame, but that's just not going to happen because you're an asshole.
I'm kind of okay with, like, and I understand why people wouldn't be, but I'm kind of okay with, like, esports players betting on esports matches as long as they are not directly involved with them and the organizations that they work with are not directly involved with them.
I don't think it's a good precedent to set.
I agree. I mean, I agree. I just don't think you should be prosecuted for it. Like,
well,
I feel like
prosecuted.
Yeah, I know, not criminally, but you are punished. It's worse than being prosecuted. You lose your career. I mean, the StarCraft people. Are you familiar with the big StarCraft Brood War match fixing scandal back in the day?
I heard about it.
It is It's a way bigger deal than any match fixing scandal we've had in Dota by a huge margin.
I'm not surprised.
It is massive. There was jail sentences. For pro players. I think Bisu went to jail.
Oh wow, he was a pretty big name.
Yeah, he's considered one of the best. He's considered to be arguably the best Protoss player from Brood War.
I was gonna say, wasn't he Protoss player?
Yeah, he's considered in the same. He's not as good as Flash and Jaedong, but he's the name that gets brought up as the Protoss equivalent. Okay, so Savior was the big name.
Oh, right.
So this was on June 9th of 2010. They were permanently banned by Kespa. It was Savior, Bai First, Dark Elf, Gogo, Huasin, Justin, Luxury, Xinhua, Type B, Up Magic, and Yellow. Yellow is also a huge name.
Yeah, Yellow was big. He was a Zerg player, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And Xinhua was also a really good Zerg player, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I didn't know Xinhua, but Yellow is an absolute juggernaut.
And Savior obviously was really good.
Yeah, Savior is the most famous player that got in trouble with this. Savior was on CJ Entus. Like,
yeah.
He was a big deal. I mean, this was a guy that he was on CJ. He was invited to CJ Entus in 2006, and he has multiple championships. He won a BlizzCon. He won 2 BlizzCons, first place. He won MSL once. He got second place in MSL again. He won MSL 2 more times. He won OSL once, and he got second in MSL and OSL. And then...
Yeah, good player.
Yeah, absolutely baller player. He's one of those guys that if... Like, in all of those... In one of his second place MSLs, he got beat by Nada. In the first OSL he 3-1'd Nada. I don't know if you guys in the chat know who Nada is, but he's kind of a huge fucking deal. Nada was a guy that not only was a top tier Brood War player, but he's a guy that I know from StarCraft 2. Like, he was a baller in StarCraft 2 as well.
Dead game.
May she rest in peace. God, Nada's 33.
Yeah, man. If you look at like those original like StarCraft Brood War players, they're like mid-30s now, man.
Yeah, but I think Nod is like older than Boxer. Like, is Boxer 33?
Boxer was legit. Man, I forgot about him. He was so good. He was such a good Terran player.
Oh God, Boxer is 37. Holy
I
shit!
told you. They're like mid-30s.
That's not mid. That's late, dog. Boxer.
He was the original Terran player.
I think there might have been one before him that was his dominant, but I think he was the most, in terms of like ratio of how early someone came along to dominance. Boxer was
so
insane. Like
he was so good.
He was the guy
Marine
that Flash
micro
looked up
was
to.
amazing.
Yeah, he was the guy that Flash looked up to.
His Marine micro was insane. That was the one thing you always see. If you look up like Boxer highlight videos on YouTube, it's just all Marine micro.
He was extremely dominant in StarCraft 2 for a while too.
Yeah. The reason he left was he had to do his.
I thought he already did it. He already did military. He did military in Brood War, so he was free when StarCraft 2 came out.
It was, but he wasn't as good as he used to be. Players had moved past because he didn't really play for like 3 years.
Well, in StarCraft 2, he was if he wasn't at the absolute top, like highest tier in the first like in the first like 18 months of Wings of Liberty, which I think was the absolute prime of the game. If he wasn't at the absolute highest tier of players, he was one tiny notch below them. Like he was there's like one series where he went against Idra, and it was a best of 5, and he immediately 2-0'd him. And then Idra came back and beat him 3 games in a row in one of the closest series I've ever seen.
Yeah, Idra's really good too.
Was
speaking good players.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, Idra. Yeah, so yeah, back then this was also back when Idra was just like leaving Code S because he wanted to come play in US tournaments. So he was top 8 Code S. So he was top 8 in the world and almost got beat by Boxer then. So Boxer was very good at this time. He was very good.
I'm just saying he wasn't as dominant.
No, I don't think we've ever had a player in StarCraft 2 that was as dominant as the Lords of Brood War.
Yeah,
the game's too volatile.
Yeah. Well, honestly, the problem with StarCraft right now is it's all the same. Like, there's not a lot of like variation in a lot of the build strategies. Like, like they just get called like gimmicks now. And it's like, okay, I'm just gonna like 6 Zergling Rush, you know?
Yeah, cheese.
He's just cheesing, right?
So yeah, Justin got the biggest sentence, but Savior got the second largest sentence. Everyone else had like big fines. Savior actually had 120 hours community service, 2 years probation with a suspended 12-month sentence.
It's not too bad.
It's pretty big for gambling. That's pretty big for gambling.
Go to jail for like gambling.
Yeah, but superstars don't go to jail for gambling. Not in America.
Dude, this is esports.
This
is not like
it's actual sports in Korea.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
At the time, this was the second. At the time that he was sentenced, this was the second most watched competitive activity on television behind soccer.
That's like the same thing you would get if you were like did like a break and enter if you were like 16. At least in Canada.
I was gonna say, I feel like I don't know, because I have some experience with the American system. My father was a lawyer, but I don't know what to put this in context of. I know like a possession of marijuana charge in Virginia, which is like we're still very, very harsh on that. Like if you have more than like 3.5 grams, you're gonna get a felony potentially.
Well, you're in the South.
Yeah, we're in one of the most. Virginia has the second as of before Barack Obama's election. We had the second most conservative voting record in all of U.S. history, next to Texas. So
I live in Canada right now, so
okay. So we're
literally legalizing it.
We had 25. It was like 25 hours community service if you got a possession of marijuana charge, and that was like the harshest sentencing that you could get for it in like the mid 2000s for a possession charge. So this was like several times that. This was a pretty serious, considering that like Shinhwa and By First got gambling treatment programs and 1 year on probation. Justin got hit the hardest, though. 3 million won, 120 hours community service, 40-hour gambling treatment program, 3 years probation on 18-month sentence. Justin must have been doing some... He must have been making some money. Justin must have been making some damn paper, yo.
Yeah.
He's got such a disproportionately large amount of time.
I think he was probably the ringleader.
Hold on, the biggest fine was 11 million won. That's $10.3 thousand. That's not that much.
It's like for the amount of money that these guys win on these tournaments back then, that was a lot.
It's a lot, but it's like it's not like $100 grand.
You get like you get like if you could become first place in one of those tournaments in StarCraft, it was what, like 20 grand?
Yeah. Something
so
like
I mean,
that.
it was like half of your winnings on like a tournament if you were good. Like obviously, it didn't cripple them that much if they were really good, but
yeah,
still,
like Savior's like lifetime winnings are like a couple, like I want to say like 150, 200,000. But they also got paid a lot of money in sponsorships. I think they made more money off sponsorships than they did tournaments. This is like the old school model of esports, the traditional model of esports, where people actually
basically
got a check.
Basically, the non-Dota 2 model of esports. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, that's true. I was gonna say, CS:GO is slowly making the transition into like a, and I think Overwatch is as well. But
Overwatch, I think, is gonna die out.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think I played it, and it's okay. Like it's a decent game, and I think it's worth playing. But I just don't see it being as competitive as other shooters.
Draskell was on stream, like right after the release of Overwatch, and said, like, you know, I think it's a fun game, but I have a very hard time seeing this game being taken seriously as a competitive title in 2 years. Check back with me in 2 years. And he said this in like 2015 or 2016, and I mean that game's popularity
it's very popular.
It's tanked compared to its launch, though.
Oh yeah, well, it was a new Blizzard game.
True. Yeah, that's
right.
God, that sucks to say out loud because it's like it was a new Blizzard game, and then you go, oh dear, that could be a big cliff to fall off.
Well, basically every single game that Blizzard has released recently has tanked, kind of.
Diablo 3.
Let's be honest here. Yeah, Diablo 3, Overwatch. I'm actually going onto Twitch right now. Let's see how many people are watching Overwatch. 55,000 people.
Could be a tournament, though. How many are watching Dota?
Dota is 28. So about half.
Yeah, I'm going to see if there's a tournament going on, though.
There isn't.
Oh no, it's Soda Pop. Soda Poppin's playing though. Soda Poppin's not an Overwatch player. He's just like a general streamer. He's a variety streamer. Like he brought Dark Souls 2 into the top 3. He brought Dark Souls 3 into the top 3 titles 2 days ago. So
yeah,
take away 18,000 from that number.
Yeah,
but unless we have
and then
a Dota
there's also Seagull. I don't know who Seagull is, but he also has like 15,000.
He could be a pro.
And everybody else has like 2 or lower.
We're pretty top heavy with 15k on our TZ, but our TZ is literally just a Dota guy, though.
Sing Sing has 4,000 right now.
He always does, though.
Yeah,
he's always got a lot. God, Sing Sing's living the life I'd like to have. What are you gonna do? I'm just gonna play some Dotes and get paid a lot of money and never compete ever.
I think problem with Sing Sing is he doesn't take things super seriously, and that's why he never expanded his hero pool and tried with other heroes. Like the heroes that he does play, like I think we kind of talked about this before.
Yeah, he's good.
He's an excellent mechanical player.
Yeah,
very, very good mechanical player. He just doesn't take the game as seriously as other people do. And he doesn't like playing solo queue.
Oh my god. Sing Sing's catchphrase. Oh my god.
I love Sing Sing though.
Yeah, Sing is like
probably
he's probably the first streamer that I ever like consistently watched play Dota.
Yeah,
like back in 2012.
I think my 2 favorite streamers right now, if I was watching somebody,
Sing Sing and
Sing Sing. I really like Gork too, like his friend.
Ah, okay.
He's excellent. He's a tryhard.
Do you know
he's
who
very
mine
good.
is?
Who?
Guess.
Arteezy?
The BSJ.
Oh.
Love watching BSJ.
Okay. Here's my issue with BSJ. I think he's good. What his problem is he always blames his teammates for like little things, and then
Reasonable.
like obviously like it's like, oh, he should have been pulling here. Like his positioning is wrong. He's like 4 seconds late or whatever. Like all this like little stuff that in the grand scheme of the game doesn't actually matter.
Like he gets tilted,
and he just gets tilted because and I know he's trying to change that, and he has mentioned it on newer streams that I've been kind of watching. Like he's trying to avoid doing that, but he still does it. He gets so wrapped up into what should be happening and not like what needs to happen, you know. And he gets very, very tilted very easily, and he tries to do too much. So I just get annoyed at like his constant complaining. But I still think he's a very good player. Like obviously he's top 100 NA, I think. So I think he's like top 50 maybe. Like he's still a really good player.
I think he seems like he's pretty like he's a one position player that
he's really bad at other positions.
Yeah, and he also seems to be kind of like, I feel like he's got issues with his hero pool.
Yep. No, he's got a pretty good hero pool.
Yeah, I think it's too big. Like he's not good enough at all those different heroes. Like I'd rather have a carry player that is like the best in the world with 5 heroes and then can't do shit otherwise, and then just be like, yeah, it's fine, just grab him. Like he's a player that, like, in terms of gameplay, I think he's like as good as, I think he's probably better than Fear at the one position. Like he's at least as good as Fear in the one position, but he doesn't give you all the other things that a Fear would give you.
Better.
Fear's better. You think so?
Yep.
But
100%.
I don't think Fear's that good of a carry. I think he's good. I think he's good. I just don't think he's great.
I think he's better in BSJ. His hero pool is much larger.
To be fair, I haven't watched Fear in a while.
You don't ban around Fear. You can't ban Fear.
Well, yeah, duh. That's true. I was saying like equivalent, like hero for hero, them both playing like Sven or Slark or something.
Fear had an excellent gyro during their TI win.
Yeah.
TI5.
BSJ does not, I don't think.
BSJ has a very average gyro, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. These are BSJ's heroes. BSJ's heroes are like
Slark.
Well, Slark originally, but nobody plays Slark anymore because he's kind of bad.
Yeah.
Life Stealer, he's quite good at, I think. I think BSJ's a really good Life Stealer.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is an excellent Terrorblade.
I haven't watched him play TV before.
And like his original heroes, like the heroes that he spammed, was like Slark, Ursa, Huskar.
Yeah, his Huskar. I remember his Huskar.
Those were his original heroes that he would spam, right? And basically Ursa and Huskar and Slark are no longer in the meta, so he had to like go into it. And I mean, he did. Like he has an okay Void, he has an okay Jug, he has an okay Troll.
The problem is they're all okay.
Yeah, like he's not excellent in all of them. Whereas you can't necessarily rely on him to carry the game if you give him one of those heroes.
Yeah.
Like somebody else on the team needs to do really well for him to do things. Like it's really hard for him to solo carry games. Whereas you can do that. I think Pure can do that.
Yeah, for every single I guess I agree with that. Because every single hero you said there, I'm like, I could think of a player I'd rather have on that.
Like Terrorblade, like there's better Terrorblade players.
Yeah, there's better TB.
No Tail is a better Terrorblade player.
Eternal Envy is a better Terrorblade player.
Eternal Envy is an excellent Terrorblade
Scientist
player.
baffled.
Scientist baffled. I love Eternal Envy.
I love Eternal Envy too, because it's just like every time I watch him lose, you just like the look on his face is just like, I fucked up. he's so good at just recognizing, like, you know, if I hadn't thrown, we probably would have won that game.
You get that, like, again, like it's not that I think BSJ is a bad player or anything. I just think like he's in a position now where he is constantly playing like 10 heroes. That's it.
Yeah.
Basically. And he's not like, when you get to that position as a player where you're like, yeah, I'm top 50 in like this region, I might be like completely off board and everything, but I think you should probably like expand your role a bit just to learn intricacies of what makes other positions hard. Like, it's not necessarily like, oh, I need to do this to be a better carry player. Like, yeah, you need to practice that, but at some point, like, the way that you become a better carry player is, for example, playing off lane
of the other roles, seeing what they struggle with, feeling what they feel.
Yep. And I think that's a really important part of Dota, is being able to understand strengths and weaknesses of various roles. Like, right now the common trend for offlaners is you actually pull the first creep wave, like you run into it and get aggro, like while it's in between the first and second tower, and just run it back between your first and second tower.
Yeah.
And basically you get two free levels, so you're level 3, like instantly. Yeah. That helps so much. Like so much for a lot of those heroes. Like, you do that on an underlord, like, okay, sure, try to harass me now. I've got 2 into my aura.
I feel like StarCraft 2 is a great example of play the thing that's killing you to understand how it dies.
No, StarCraft was different because there was only 3 races.
I know.
Right?
That's why it was easy to do that with.
So it wasn't like you knew what worked, basically. You knew what the only thing, because you played against it so much. Like, you were going to play against one of the other 3 races at one point. Like, it's not that going to be that like hard to figure out what was working against what you did. Like, I mean, you can figure it out pretty quick, in my opinion. Dota is a much more complex game than StarCraft 2.
Yeah, I agree.
Full stop.
I agree.
There's much more variations and things.
Yeah. It's, it was, I remember there was a point where I was like, God, I'm really having trouble with the mid-game against Terran with Protoss and Wings of Liberty. So I played, like, I don't know, like 30 games of Terran just against everything. And then I got so, like, after, like, that week, I was just like, yeah, it's just Terran, I'm gonna go kill him. Like, I suddenly went from, like, God, Marines are really, really good, to, like, by this point in time, unless he went super greedy, he's not going to have enough, like, Marauders to stop these Colossus, so, or Vikings to stop my Colossus, so I'm just going to go in and kill him, and then just go in and kill him. You get so much more of a feel of, like it seems so overwhelming in StarCraft, because you don't, if you don't play all 3 races, then you don't understand, like, what is reasonable to have at what period of time and what trade-offs you have to make. But then after playing them, you go, oh, it's actually impossible for him to have an army that can stop mine right now unless he did, like, one of these 2 rare conditions.
Yeah. Like, for example, I was watching Envy last night for, like, a few hours. He played 3 support games.
Oh, God.
Yeah. He played Bane 3 times.
I'm sorry you had to see that.
It was great.
I'm sorry.
Like, honestly.
Sorry you had to see that, children.
Like, these players are realizing, like, yes, they get, like, basic concepts and anything, but it's hard to understand, like, what other roles have to go through in order to make games go the way they do if you're only playing one role. And I think it's a very, very bad habit that people get into.
It's like when you first start playing Dota, the first thing I tell people is play a match against bots by yourself, but ideally with other players against bots of medium skill, of progressively increasing skill as you feel more comfortable with the game. Playing every single role in the way that, like, Dota Cinema tells you to, like in the old school traditional way to play it, and then start playing against people once you played a game with every single hero. And...
Oh, no. Okay. I'm assuming like this, you are a reasonably well in tuned player.
Yeah. But the problem with that is everyone does that at first, and you get pretty well in tuned, and then it gets very hard to keep track. Like, the way that things feel from that other hero's perspective changes drastically based on patch. So, like, suddenly you're like, that's a Bane, he shouldn't be able to lock me down in X period of time. Well, they reduced the cooldown on this ability, or they made this ability do this much more than it used to. And suddenly you're like, oh shit, I'm in a bad position because I didn't realize that this is what occurred. This was what was normal at this point in the game.
Yeah, and then you learned that, oh, he can actually do that, and then you make adjustments.
It's like I saw you experiencing that last night during Dota Turbo. You're like, ooh, yeah, that's an Orchid. Woo-wee!
That's a 7-minute Orchid. I was not expecting that. That was okay, sure.
Woo-wee.
Woo-wee. I was honestly not expecting to get ganked by 4 players at 7 minutes with one of them having an Orchid. So.
That's actually kind of terrifying because like, I never see people rush Orchid in Turbo mode. Like, Turbo mode is typically...
We still won the game.
Yeah.
Because they got absolutely dumpstered, but...
They got Huskard. They got Pubscard. Actually, I don't know. I don't think I did that much that game.
I'm looking at the game right now. You did the fourth... You did the second least amount of damage. So honestly, you didn't really do that much that game.
Did I get farmed?
You had a good farm.
That's all that matters. Gold wins
you
wars.
You had the second most farm on our team. You had the second most farm in the game, actually.
Okay, well then that seems reasonable, because it's like I still play the game to the point where it's like, whoa, wow, you had the most farm in the game, but you only went like 4 and 4. I'm like, yeah, because I got all 4 of those kills in a single right-click crit on my Sven, and then we just ended. Just show up. The thing I love about Turbo is it takes a lot longer for people to yell at you to stop farming in terms of the time of the game and how much money you can get. So by the time people are pissed at me from farming all game, I'm 6-slotted and we just go win. That's what I like about Turbo.
Like the Shadow Fiend that I was playing against mid was a divine player.
Really?
Yeah. And he went 5 and 9, and I went 8, 7, and 12.
Wait, so the person that got you with the Orchid wasn't the mid?
No, it was a roaming random Windrunner.
I thought Windrunner was mid though. Holy crap!
No, I was playing against Shadow Fiend IO mid for like 10 minutes.
I'm looking at the game now. Yeah, I went 9-7, but I didn't do that much damage.
No, you did a lot of building damage.
Literally,
it was me, Zeus, Lion, and Drow Ranger running around killing everybody while you were hitting creeps.
I hit him good though. I hit them creeps good. I hit them creeps real good. 1.2k GPM.
You literally just sat in a lane for like 15 minutes and they kind of ignored you.
Damn, I did a lot of building damage. I did exactly double the amount of building damage you did. Which is a lot considering your DP.
Yep. Like I said, like I was literally running around hitting heroes. Or getting ganked by 4 of them at like 8 minutes in. So that was an interesting game. I've never had to deal with that before.
That was fun.
And that Wind Ranger had a Divine Rapier at the end.
God, they had an 11,000 gold lead at 8 minutes and 30 seconds, and then at 16 minutes we had a 10,000. Then we threw down to 0 again, and then we won.
Yep.
Who had all their money? Windrunner. Windrunner.
No, it was Shadow Fiend.
No.
Shadow Fiend had a lot.
Windrunner's now worth his double.
Yeah, look at like 10 minutes in. I had 5, and Shadow Fiend had 10. He had double my net worth. And then literally like.
I don't think I can see that.
Go to 10 minutes.
I don't think I can do that. I don't have Dota.
Oh, I'm in the client.
Oh.
Yeah. in the client, I had like 5.5k at 10 minutes just because I got ganked like 3 times in a row. And then like 4 minutes later, I was over Shadow Fiend's net worth. Like I gained 6,000 net worth in 4 minutes. Like that's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, in a normal game, that'll only be 3,000.
So, I don't know. And then I was basically top 3 net worth the rest of the game.
I actually looked at my lifetime history for building damage. I'm in like the 99.7th percentile of people that have done building damage across all matches on all their accounts on my main, which I've only played like 20 games on in the last 2 years. Because I did so much building damage on Lycan for so long.
Mm-hmm. It's just the type of heroes you play, right? And that's also a big part of like why I think a lot of stats are bullshit.
Yeah, no, a lot of stats are bullshit. Like Lycan's Howl is a heal. Like no, that doesn't need to be that way.
Like if you main like yeah, I'm like the top 10. I'm like a top 10 witch doctor or some shit, right? Like your stats aren't gonna be that great, honestly.
Yeah.
Really. But you can play that hero really well. It's just the hero doesn't shine in like a lot of like those flashy things, like as like a carry player would, right? So
yeah.
I just see it as like, oh man, you only have like 400 lifetime net worth or whatever, or like GPM. It's just like who cares? Who cares? Only people who care are carry players or mid players.
Or junglers.
Everybody else doesn't care.
Junglers don't care.
Jungle's terrible.
I mean, I'm just talking about like actual junglers, like people that just play like Enigma and Chen and shit.
Yeah. Nobody plays Enigma or nobody plays Chen anymore.
Chen is like, have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Chen the Wise?
Nobody plays
It's
him.
not a tragedy that Reddit would tell you.
I don't know. There's several heroes that I think need buffs and changes, but it's not really something that I can really give clarity towards. Like I don't know what they need to change with Chen. Maybe give him more move speed or something like that. I think move speed increase would be pretty good for him.
This Enigma like put off getting his first 2 talents until like level 15. Like he didn't get his level 15 talent until level 16. His level 15 talent is like one of the best talents in the game. Choose between 120 GPM or 15% CDR.
His level 10 one is kind of garbage though.
It is.
I wouldn't get it. Level 10.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I'd get it at level 14 though, so I could get the level 15 at 15.
Yeah, I would do that too.
I played with someone that
70 Eidolon damage is pretty good.
Yeah, it's sick. It's absolutely sick.
Though. 400 health though.
Yeah, but you could do Eidolon damage and then plus 8 demonic conversions. That means you have 11 demonic conversions that are all doing 70 additional damage that all split just like the normal ones do. So if you get like 6 attacks off of them, then you have 33 Elodians that are doing like 100 and some damage a hit.
Yeah.
And that sounds like, well, that's like a very ideal situation. No, that's you paying attention, like clicking things a couple of times. Like if you have a building that you can use, you're gonna get all those Elodians.
I think Enigma's in a pretty good spot. Right?
Yeah, Enigma's the hero that's always been pretty good. He's always been like decent, I think. There was only one period of time, it was about 6 to 9 months, where he was kind of weak, and that was just because Mag was a new hero, and Mag was like a better version of Enigma.
I don't know, I think Enigma's hard to play around. You always have to think that he's gonna just blink black hole like 4 of you, and then you're gonna lose.
Yep. And early on, he has so much farm that he'll have brown boots and be able to just walk up and black hole you, so you can grab a mech on him, and then now you have a ridiculously hard team to push against, and he doesn't really care about blinking on you, because if you try to just like walk up to him and fight, his team has the advantage because he has a mech. And he still has black hole, he just can't blink on you. Then you get blink after you have mech. You can get that pretty damn quickly, like sub 15 minutes blink and mech is like absolutely reasonable. Probably faster than that in most cases. And
I think you go I think you go magic resistance, cooldown reduction, eidolon damage, demonic conversions.
I think I'd go movement speed.
Nah, you have a blink dagger.
What's his base movement speed? 300. So
That's pretty good.
yeah, you don't need it. You don't need the movement.
That's pretty good for
it's
level 1.
Yeah, he's got damn good movement speed. Yeah,
it's pretty quick.
Yeah, that's actually like pretty darn good. He starts with like almost 4. He starts with 4 armor too.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
He's a good hero. Enigma's gonna get nerfed. You heard it here first.
I don't think he'll get nerfed. Nobody plays him enough. Like Pudge at level 1 has 280. He's a slow guy.
Yeah, Medusa's 275. She just got nerfed from 285 to 275. She's just a fat slug now. It's also
She's
worse.
As slow as Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden's 275.
And the other thing about Medusa is that you really want movement speed on her too, because you get to a point in the game where you're like, I'm 6-slotted, I really don't want to have boots, and your allies are just 4-staffing you around. Now you're even more of just like a fat, slow, useless slug.
Yep.
God.
They had to nerf her somehow.
I think that's a good way to nerf her, though. I like seeing heroes being made worse at what they're bad at and becoming balanced because of it, instead of making them worse at what they're good at.
Yeah. Well, Shadow Fiend's really fast. Holy shit.
310?
310.
That was a guess.
He is 310. Pretty surprised by that, honestly. Pugna's fast, too.
Lycan is 305.
Pugna is 335.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
Starting?
Starting 335.
Does that make him the fastest hero in Dota? That makes him one of them. Luna's...
It's Chaos Knight, Luna, and Coddle. Coddle's 335 also. Chaos Knight's 325. What's Luna?
God.
Luna is 330. So it's Coddle and Pugna are the fastest 2 heroes in the game.
Coddle and Pugna are the 2 fastest heroes in Dota.
Yep.
What a time to be alive.
Dude, he's a fast little skeleton.
He's too spooky for me.
He's real spooky.
I'm happy that Coddle is so fast, though. I love Coddle is my favorite position 5. Because you're never really position 5 when you're Coddle.
Yeah.
You're gonna get that money.
I legitimately love Pugna, though. I think he's such a fun hero.
I know you like Pugna a lot.
Like, there's something about, like...
Enchantress!
Just, like, going up and
Carbon Bond says Enchantress is faster.
What's Enchantress?
340.
Oh, 340.
Sproink, motherfucker.
Yeah, she's spronking.
Nice call, Carbon Bond. She's the... Enchantress is the fastest hero in the game. God, that is disgusting. Enchantress...
It's really hard to lay against.
Enchantress has 15... Like, Brown Boots is 40 or 50?
I think it's 40.
Enchantress is like 25 move
380.
speed faster than... with like naked than Medusa is with Brown Boots.
Yep.
That's so absurd. That's so absurd.
Yep.
That's absurd. Wait a minute though. That's base movement
so hard
speed.
to lane against is like a carry or like a support because she can just right click you, and unless you have like a ton of like nuke damage early on, like she's just gonna run away, man. She's gonna turn on Nature's Attendants and have her untouchable, and she's just gonna run away from you. He's really, really good in dual lanes.
So 1% of 330 is 3.3. So Luna is actually the same as CK essentially, because she's got 333.3 because she's an agility hero.
True.
But Enchantress, Enchantress is just like zoom, zoom. Zoom, zoom. Juggernaut is only 295. It's surprising.
No, most heroes are pretty much under 300.
Well, I think Jug's definitely Jug's probably over 300 with considering his agi.
He's
Anti-
295.
Well, yeah, that doesn't include his level 1 his amp though, from agility being his primary attribute. That's base, not level 1.
Okay.
Let me look it up.
He's got 26 agility at level 1. That's a lot of agility. Holy shit.
Yeah, he's got 1.56% move amp, so he's basically got like he's like 299 point something. Yeah, he's 299 point something at level 1.
Chen pretty fast? Chen is 310. I think if you up Chen's...
I was going to say, movement speed might be the buff for Chen that he needs. Make him like...
Yeah, that's what I said earlier.
Make him 325. Just fuck it. Just give him a big one. Give him a big buff.
325 move speed? Or the cooldown on Hand of God by 10, 15 seconds, maybe even 20 seconds on all levels.
How bad is that cooldown right now?
It's 160 at level 1.
Whoa. It doesn't even heal that much.
No, it's 250. It's so low.
It's trash.
And it costs so much mana.
You could probably cut like 40 seconds off of that heal at all levels.
I think like 20 would be a good start and a move speed increase.
I would say like 40 off of the level 1, and then 20 off the level 2, and then like 20 off the level 3.
Maybe, yeah.
So like make it like 120, 120, 180. I think
that level 15 10-second test of faith cooldown decrease. Ooh. That's a pure damage nuke, man.
Ooh.
Level 4? It's 400 pure damage. You have that on a 6-second cooldown? Ooh. That's a scary, scary guy.
200 to 400 pure. It stacks with Veil, doesn't it?
Yep.
Ooh.
It's a spell.
Yeah, I didn't know if Veil just amps spell damage or magical damage.
It's spell damage.
Ooh, that's a big boy.
Yeah, he could be pretty good. I'm gonna read Veil real fast. Make sure that I'm not talking about. I'm pretty sure it's all spells.
180 GPM. I love how he has a higher win rate with all of the talents that he are picked least.
Oh, it's magic resistance, so it wouldn't increase it.
Yeah, it wouldn't increase it. That's what I thought. Damn.
Kaya would work.
Yeah, Kaya would work.
That's just pure spell amp.
Oh god, get a Kaya on him? Get a Kaya Octarine. Dude! Are we back?
So with his intelligence and a Kaya, you'd probably be looking at... Because it's pure damage.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't get reduced by any. But...
Womp, 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 womp. Cue the OD
like
music.
That's like a 460 pure damage nuke.
Cue the
6-second cooldown.
Cue the Mr. Steal Your Intel music.
Just play Chen as a mid.
Yeah. Just I'm not even gonna like put any points into Holy Persuasion.
No. Just play him as a mid because his other thing, his pertinence or whatever it's called. What is it called again? I don't play Chen. Penitence. Penitence. Bonus damage across.
Ooh.
36% on whatever they did at level
4. 36% plus 36% of 400 with a Kaya is a lot.
It's more or less like 46%.
Yeah.
46% increase.
That's a 600 pure. That's a 600 pure damage nuke.
6
on a 6-second cooldown.
670.
Yeah, put an Octarine core on that too. Now you're down to a 4-second cooldown, and
you don't have the mana. Don't have the mana to do that.
Is it that mana? No, it's only 120. Plus you have the reduced mana cost from the Kaya.
Yeah.
Plus you have all of the Octarine mana. I think you have the mana to do that. And you have spell amp from the Octarine as well. Dude, I kind of want to do this right now. I'm gonna get reported though. I'm gonna get reported if I do this though. I gotta do this on my Smurf. I'm definitely going to be reported. if I play
Cast range.
if I play core Sven and only get those 2 abilities, people are like, "Where are your creeps?" And I'm just like, "Womp womp 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 womp." Cue the dubstep music. Cue the shitty dubstep.
Okay. I'm gonna get Shreds and a Kaya.
He's so sick. Actually, get an Octarine.
This anti-mage. Okay, I got an anti-mage. He's level 25. He doesn't have any spell shield right now.
Okay.
It did. Okay. Hold on. Yeah, it did. Still only did like 300 or something. Well, it's random, right?
Yeah, it's random between 2 and 400 plus
that
those
one did
percentages.
Yeah, that did like almost 700 pure damage.
Yeah, and you need to get you want to get Octarine on that too.
Yeah.
Also, it doesn't matter if he has spell shield because it's pure. Get wrecked. Ooh. Ooh, and remember, kids, you can do that at level 15. That's really, really cool. I'm kind of getting about this. I'm trying to think how good of a value point is Holy Persuasion.
Holy Persuasion?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good.
As a value point, I mean.
Yeah, still pretty good.
Because I mean, you could get that level 1 and then just farm. Because I feel like you want to get a point in that early, just because if I'm spamming turbo mode and just trying to do this build, I feel like I kind of want to get a value point in that, because if I run into a situation where I can't farm the lane, then I could just go grab a creep and farm the jungle.
I would still do. What you would do is you'd go Kaya, Dagon, E-Blade, honestly. Dagon 5 E-Blade.
I think you go Octarine though.
Nah.
Dude, the pure damage though. People are just gonna.
Nah.
I just think it'd be hilarious if you do that, because people are gonna start building magic resist, and then you're like, oh, look at the time. Actually, I don't think the Dagon E-Blade is that big of a deal, because you can you're slowing people with the penitence anyway. And it's
oh my god, dude.
And it's an 8-second duration on an 11-second cooldown. With the Octarine, the cooldown is almost the same as the duration.
Okay, hold on one sec. I'm testing something here because I'm very interested.
Did we just figure something out? Are we like next leveling Dota 2?
That did almost 3,000 damage.
What'd you do?
Penitence, Test of Faith, Ethereal Blade, Dagon 5 with a Kaya on an axe with 6 hearts. It did almost 3,000 damage.
Total?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
And you only had Kaya to amp that?
Well, and
Penitence.
Blade. And Penitence.
Well, Blade, that's only going to amp the damage on the Dagon, not the... Ethereal Blade doesn't affect the damage on Test of Faith.
True.
Pretty sure. Whoa.
Yeah, that did almost... that did like 2k burst that time.
That's so sick. That's so sick.
Okay.
Children. Hello, children.
Good to know. I remember like getting dumpstered by
a Blink Dagger, Dagon, Sven, or Chen.
Yeah, no, it was in like a game where he just farmed and farmed and farmed, and that's kind of what he built, and he would just go around like one-shotting people. He could. He did so much damage. He literally sat in the jungle for like 25 minutes or something like that and didn't do anything. And this was like at a point where like nobody was really punishing like jungling that much. So he got away with it, of course, right? And then he comes out of the jungle and it's like, oh, it's just a Chen, whatever, right? And then he just absolutely dumpsters you. You're just like, what the hell happened?
The word dumpstered and Chen in that sense, like, that's not how I normally imagine Chen appearing in a sentence with the word dumpstered.
Dude, he can be good. All heroes are really good. I don't think there's a single really bad hero. It's just he's in a bad spot right now because nobody plays him. Because nobody likes playing him.
Carbon's like, hashtag let's change his alt.
He changes alt to being like a Zeus like test of faith alt. You can change it between either a heal or like a global, like damage, like Zeus alt.
Ooh.
Change it between
toggleable on the same cooldown.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
That'd be really cool. I would like that. It's like test of faith, like Hammer of God or something.
Make it so that it heals like 20%. Like, make it so it's the same as it is now, except it heals like, let's say 50 more at all levels.
It'll be an Ags upgrade.
Yeah, and well, if you do Ags upgrade, then you have to worry about his level 25 talent because that makes him a little bit
just be an
too
extra
good.
400 damage or heal.
Well, if you have that Ags on him.
I mean, it's also like a level 25 Chen, so how often are you gonna see that?
I play Turbo. I see everything.
Yeah, but Turbo's not real Dota.
It's not real Dota. It's not competitive Dota. It's still Dota. It's still fun.
It's not real Dota. It's still Dota, but it's not real Dota.
It's not real Dota. It's Dota Light.
Yeah.
It's Dota. It's fun Dota.
They're not going to base the game around Turbo. They never will.
I know, and I'm really excited about that because it means I'll be able to figure out some really broken shit, and it will never get nerfed. It will never be okay.
Well, I mean, heroes and everything will change, and like items will change, but the basic concepts are over there.
Yeah, it's like Sven. I think currently he's pretty balanced in pubs, but in turbo mode he's absolutely broken as hell. Just because of the meta, though. The thing about turbo mode that makes it not like normal Dota is just the meta game. Like, the only difference between turbo mode and regular Dota, like that really, really imbalances it, is the fact that the buildings are weaker. But they,
buildings are still weak.
But they aren't so weak that you can backdoor them like you could in the old school actual Dota with Lycan.
They're never gonna bring that back, by the way, ever.
Yeah, I know. I'm sad about it. I'm never gonna stop being salty about it.
It's just not the way that they wanted Dota to go.
I hate that
it's cheesy.
I know it's cheesy, but I hate that they're just like I spent 3 hours one night just doing math, and I figured out that I had been building Lycan incorrectly this entire time, and I figured out a way that I could significantly improve the overall damage that I do to buildings when trying to do that backdoor rat stuff. And I was like, holy shit, I don't think anybody's figured this out in the world. Like, I don't think anyone's doing this at all. And I figured out this build. Like, I got an idea at 2 a.m. and started tweaking the math, and I was up at like 7 a.m. Like, I spent 5 hours just doing math, and I was like, oh my god, this is so insanely sick. And then I went to bed, and when I woke up the next day, they increased backdoor regen from 25 to 40% because of the Alchemist Whiff shit.
Yep.
And I was just like, well, that idea goes out the window.
You can't play around it. Like, the problem with that is there's literally no way to play around it if you're on the other team. Like,
yeah, no, I wish that it could have been, I wish that were nerfed another way because I wanted to see if I could do that with the Lycan, but for the sake of the game, like, the Alchemist Whiff shit was way too strong. Because you could backdoor anything, and you could backdoor anything reliably and quickly. It was more reliable to backdoor with that combo than it was to backdoor with a solo Lycan back in the day. Like, when I first saw a video of that, I was like, this is absurd. This is going to get nerfed. But I didn't expect it to be nerfed that way. I expected one of the heroes to be nerfed.
Yeah.
I think Wisp is too strong.
Wisp is so good, by the way.
I think they made Wisp too strong, and then they knew they were going to do
you're gonna see Wisp so often in the next like major, I think.
I just like here's the problem I have with the tiny changes and the Wisp changes that went along with it. So
IO, whatever you want to call them.
yeah, we're gonna make Wisp super good. So we have to nerf Tiny, not technically nerf, but rework. I consider it a nerf, in terms of the ultra late. But we're gonna nerf him slightly in the ultra late, actually significantly in the ultra late, because of the fact that we want to buff Wisp in this certain way. Here's the problem.
Tiny's not good in the late game at all.
I know, and he used to be like the scariest hero in the game in the late game. If you had a Wisp on your team, like he was so flippin', like a six slotted Tiny was like nobody like it's the hero that everyone forgets about. Like everyone forgot that like Tiny suddenly became a boss when he had six items, and then there was that one game at like there was this one game at TI2 or I think it was TI2, might have been TI3, but I think it was TI2. Actually, probably TI3, where Winter was casting this match, and he just kept saying, "But what about the Tiny?" And everyone just kept ignoring the Tiny. And then at the end, he's like, "I've been saying for 20 minutes, you gotta watch out for the Tiny." And then Tiny just comes in and just like, with Wisp in the back lines, it was like Tiny versus the whole enemy team, and he just killed everyone like easily in a pretty even game. Yeah. It was just like suddenly he was six slotted, and it was like, oh shit, this hero is insane. Now he's so bad in the late game, and I loved playing Tiny for the late game. Like, I loved that old school Tiny. And they had to do that because they gave Wisp a major buff. And the ultimate problem I have with that is that Wisp didn't need a fucking buff. He was awesome. Wisp has always been awesome. Like, at the highest level of play, Wisp has always been a terrifying pick. Like, if you are a pro team and you are drafting and the enemy team picks a Wisp, you just go, oh no. Like, this just throws a wrench into everything we were planning.
I saw this video on Reddit a couple weeks ago. IO had gone Veil and Kaya. And it took the 90 spirit damage, hero damage, level 15 talent.
Oh god.
And what he did was he had his spirits active, and he was waiting just like right next and close to him, and he was waiting for them to wear out. Just right before they wore out, he tethered to a creep, so they exploded like right as they like wore out. Right after he had veiled them, and then he summoned
use it again.
Then he summoned new ones. So that's like
a ridiculous amount of magic damage.
1,600 magic damage or something like that within like a second and a half, and he just completely blew up a Medusa. He
just dumpstered everyone.
Full health Medusa just disappeared.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Like, you're not going to see a lot of IO, and you never will in pubs, but
yeah, he's like Chen in the sense where even if Chen were broken, you wouldn't see him a lot in pubs. Versus like IO right now, you still don't see him that much in pubs, but let's make no mistake, he's broken as hell.
I played I played a game with an IO in it, like my first game with an IO in it, like
since the buff?
Months. No, like I have not played with an IO in like forever.
I never play with him. Yeah, I never see him.
Like, when is the last time you saw it, right?
Yeah.
We played a game. We played a duel off lane. Okay. So I was Slardar, he was Wisp. He was a really nice guy. I really liked playing with him. And we absolutely just dumpstered this tri lane.
Carbon says he loves Chen and IO.
You're like one of the few, Carbon. Really.
Yeah, that's a weird. That's like you're a hipster at that point.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, my favorite hero is Elder Titan.
Elder Titan is such. He's a good. Go on.
So we were playing against an anti-mage, support windrunner, and a shadow shaman, and they could literally do nothing against us. They went on me. Wisp just healed me, and I just crushed and swam away. They went on Wisp. He would just tether to the creep wave that's up there. You can't chase him. Or I would crush them when they went on him, and then he would just run away. It was just silly. We just did so much work. The the Wisp at the end of the game ended up having almost the same net worth as I did, and I went Midas. It was really cool. He did 10k hero healing that game in a let's see how long this game was. In 22 minutes, almost a 22-minute game, he did 10k healing.
That's disgusting.
It was insane. He did more healing than I did damage that game.
If I am disgusted by something in Dota in terms of balance, you know it's bad. Because I really like broken stuff.
That was just ridiculous. Like he was talking throughout the game. He was like, yeah, this man, like we can just do whatever we want. There's nothing they can do about it. And there wasn't. There was nothing they could do about it. I got like a 9-minute blink dagger or something like that, and I literally just chased the anti-mage with IO around, and I chased the anti-mage around for like 10 minutes and just shit on him. Like, we didn't necessarily kill him all the time, but he had to go back and heal.
Yeah.
He couldn't farm. He had nothing. His supports couldn't do anything. Like, they couldn't really like affect him, because meanwhile, like, while this was going on, so that while they had 3 heroes, like, their off-lane Underlord just was getting absolutely dumpstered by our Terrorblade. And, like,
how does that happen?
Terrorblade's really good against Underlord early, because Metamorph basically ignores, because it's just a flat damage.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Okay, never mind. I understand now. Yeah.
Terrorblade's really good against Underlord.
Yeah, because guys watching the stream, so like when you use Metamorphosis on Terrorblade, the way that Abyssal Underlord's aura works is he reduces your damage based on base damage. So against someone like a Sven, that 40% reduction is on the overwhelming majority of his damage, because like the 40% tax applies to the overwhelming majority of his damage, because typically around Sven you build your damage off of raw strength, and then you usually get some kind of crit. So outside of the crit and the bonus damage that comes with that item, it's all off of your strength, and the actual crit multiplier is affected by that strength damage as well, which is reduced by the atrophy aura. The Metamorphosis, or your E button on Terrorblade, gives you bonus damage, and that's applied in the form of a flat bonus, so it's not the 40% reduction does not apply to that. So Abyssal Underlord actually has to take real damage.
He was taking a lot of damage. Basically, like, it was a Lion Terrorblade against him. He just gets
he got dumpstered.
He would get stunned and hexed while he was like reflected, and then he would just get shit on by like Terrorblade and 2 illusions.
That's awesome.
That are metamorph, so he would just die.
Abyssal Underlord is a hero that I like. Like, I can always watch a clip of him being dumpstered and smile.
He's so good.
I hate that hero. He is so good.
Strong. He is so strong.
He's the anti-fun.
I love playing anti-fun heroes.
I love playing anti-fun heroes too, but that hero is so anti-fun. He's like,
you were complaining about Spirit Breaker as well, and like, I fucking love Spirit. Man.
I played so many games last night where I was like against a Spirit Breaker and an Abyssal Underlord, and I was playing Sven, and I was just like, well, this sucks.
I have a 62.7% win rate on Spirit Breaker.
You're an asshole.
With like 70 games on him.
You are the worst.
He's such a good hero.
He is really.
His talents are really, really strong.
Are they?
Yeah.
I think I remember. I never remember people's talents.
His talents are really good.
So, you guys can't see it on the screen, but it's 5 armor or 400 night vision at level 10. Level 15
you get the night vision.
Yeah, you get the night vision for sure. Level 15, you have 10 regen or 40 damage. Level 20, you have 30% greater bash damage or 400 charge speed. And level 25, you have plus 25% greater bash chance or 800 health. His talents are They're absurd. They're unreasonable. They're ridiculous. That's so good. Everything about that is so good. Like 30%
health.
30% greater bash damage, and you know that his talent's good when I hear 800 health and I look at the other one and go, That's like he's got a 47% 42% chance to bash you, and he has 30% additional damage on the bash.
You get the charge speed though if you're position 4.
Yeah, I figured.
You really do.
But the bash chance.
It's honestly like a really hard choice every
It
single time
is.
I hit level
That's
20.
both
but
of those
I
are
almost
so good.
I almost always go charge speed just because of how good it is.
That and the
It's
night
so hard
vision.
to counter
That
him.
and the night vision. You are everywhere.
Yeah.
You are everywhere. Oh my god.
Yeah. And like the 10 health regen is good, but the 40 damage is just really nice, honestly.
Win rate's way higher
I
on the
like it.
regen.
Yeah.
Win rate is
It
highest
is.
for night vision, regen, charge speed, and they seem to be the same. Actually, yeah, the win rate is very similar between the 800 health and the bash chance.
Yeah. I think that it's player preference at that point. If you're having problems surviving, like initial onslaught, obviously you get the health, but
The health is just so late, so
it is. It's very
like by the
late.
time that rolls around, you're like, doom 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 doom. 17% of the time it hits, it works every time. 42% of the time it works every time.
Yeah.
I
He's a
agree,
very
I
good
agree with
hero right
Carbon.
now.
I want to go bash bash bash.
Yeah, the bash build is fun. Carbon, I agree. It's very fun, but
Mask of Madness into just like Bashville.
it's not. The Mask of Madness doesn't work like that with bashes. Bashes don't work that well with it. That's why attack speed on heroes like Spearbreaker aren't necessarily.
It gives you
really
movement
good.
speed though.
Yeah, it gives you movement speed, which increases his overall damage
Mhm.
just with the way that empowering haste works. But there
Yeah.
are better items.
Yeah.
Like Blade Mail is very solid on him.
Well, doesn't Greater Bash give you a modifier? Spirit Breaker. Like, doesn't his bash damage depend on his move speed?
Yes.
Yeah, it's 15% of his move bonus. So.
Yep.
That bonus of 15% is increased by 12% by having Mask of Madness active.
Yep. But there are better items.
The move speed is damage. Sorry. Move speed is damage is 78% on a 42% proc rate.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus.
He's very good.
Oh my god. That is disgusting.
You know what my best record on? I have my like loadout on Spearbreaker open right now. Do you want to know what my record is?
What?
13 kills, 0 deaths, 40 assists, 500 GPM.
So you only CS heroes. Your creep score is just HS.
It's just like I really need to look up this game.
Carbon's looking at us like we need help.
Dude, that's just silly.
This hero needs a nerf. This hero
Really
absolutely needs a nerf.
he's really good.
He's
As a position 4 player, he's like my favorite.
yeah,
hero to play.
no, I was gonna say, I think I look at the hero and think think of all the things I could do with farm on this hero, but what's really scary is looking at this hero and going, think about everything you can do without any farm on this hero.
You really do not need that much on him.
Yeah, you don't need shit.
Like you can get
You get a silver edge
basically-
and you've already got more than you need.
No, you don't. You don't even go silver edge. Like you go earn into blade mail with like boots and a wand, and you're fine. That's all you need.
The blade mail too. If you go position 4 and you get the 800 health, that's a lot of health to chew through with a blade mail on.
Yep, he's really good.
Oh, that is dirty.
I love Spirit.
I feel ill like looking at this.
He's basically like one of the best position 4 supports in the game right now. I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think him, Night Stalker, Clockwork, Pudge to a lesser extent, Sand King I think is still really good.
Earthshaker's good, but I think he needs to be a higher farm priority.
I think he needs to be a 3 still. He can be okay as a 4, but
yeah, I think he needs to be a 3 as well.
Obviously, Earth Spirit's still really strong.
Earth Spirit is just like
Tusk. Tusk is amazing right now. I think Tusk is extremely good right now.
Yeah, Tusk is good. I don't know if Tusk needs a nerf, but he's definitely good.
He's extremely good.
God, the win rate In above 5K matches, Spirit Breaker has a 62.5% win rate.
Yeah. I basically play
What
Spirit Breaker. I
the
spam him.
hell?
He is so good.
That is
I think you're going to see a lot of Spirit Breaker.
I do. I already see a lot of Spirit Breaker.
Like, you play him with, like, the right heroes, like, heroes that just want to, like, fight. Like, again, like...
You just play him, you pick him into lineups where you have people that want to farm a lot on the enemy team.
Well, you play it... Yeah. Like, if somebody picks Tinker, I'm, like, first picking that fucking Spirit Breaker.
Yeah, exactly. Tinker, anyone that's going to AFK farm, especially someone like Sven is a little more resilient against him because he's naturally tanky and because he naturally goes for neutrals and ancients versus like anti-mage is just like, I love farming the lane. And if you love farming the lane, then Spirit Breaker is just going to make you lose every game.
Yeah, because you just charge the enemy.
Yeah, because you're always
still going to charge him.
Yeah, you're always visible.
Yeah, so I think he's really good.
At the very least, even if you don't kill him, you'll do enough damage. He's got to leave, and then you've just ruined his farm.
Yep. I love Spirit Breaker.
God.
I know I've said it like 9 times now, but
this hero is stupid. I want to play this hero. He's so counter to the way I typically play the game, but he looks so good right now.
You don't farm on him. You don't hit creeps.
I know, you hit people.
You just run at people.
Mm-hmm.
Just go retard into somebody, and it's great. It's just like, let's go, guys. Where like you have a Nakes on your team, and you have a Shadow Blade. You're just like, come on, Nakes, let's go kill somebody.
Yeah, you can just instantly
just
kill
hops in. Like, Nakes, hop in. And you Shadow Blade while you're charging, like you don't even see you coming. And all of a sudden, there's a Spirit Breaker, and a Pocket Ricky, and a Nakes just eating you.
Okay, now the Pocket Ricky, you think that's getting a little out of hand. That's getting a little unreasonable. If you charge someone in a Pocket Ricky, and the Nakes just jump out. Do you remember that old meme? Do you remember the old meme? Get in, there's no time to explain.
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
The Aghanim Scepter dick cow.
Yeah, I love that. That's one of my favorite comments.
Get in. What the fuck are you talking about? Get in. Okay, so you have Aghanim's Nakes. Think about this. You have Aghanim's Nakes, so he can eat people, right? So you eat the guy who has, so like whatever hero, doesn't matter. Let's say it's a like a Sand King. Okay, the Pocket Ricky goes into the Sand King, and then you eat the Sand King with the Nakes, and then you infest into the Spirit Breaker, and then you charge somebody with a Shadow Blade. So all of a sudden you have 4 heroes just on somebody. I've got the comic up on stream.
Holy. Literally Spirit Breaker.
There's no time to explain. Get in. Get in what? I just love the expression on Lifestealer's face. Like, it's just like, I am an absurd, like, fictional creature, and then Spirit Breaker's like, I am also an absurd fictional creature.
Yeah.
The Aghanim Scepter dick. I didn't even notice it until someone pointed it out on Reddit.
Actually the best part.
It's the little things that matter.
Yeah. Space Cow.
And yeah, I love the galaxy.
It's his nickname is Space Cow.
I know. I love that he's called Space Cow, and this dude just drew like a galaxy inside of him.
Yeah.
A nebula, I guess. God. That is a disgusting hero. Who else is just a bane of pubs right now?
Bane of pubs. Spectre's really good. If we want to talk carry, he's really strong.
Ooh.
Jug is always solid. I mean, he's always picked.
CK.
Shadow Fiend is extremely good, I think.
CK
is strong.
CK.
Oh, CK. Yeah, CK is great. I love CK. He's one of my go-to carry heroes.
Yeah, 150 GPM talent at level 20 on his farm priority is terrifying.
Yep, it's really good, and he can reach that relatively easily, especially if he gets a Midas.
Okay, strap yourself in for this statistic. Are you ready? At 5K and above, he has a 21.4% win rate.
Yeah, he's really, really easily counterable unless you last pick him.
Like,
That's
that,
his issue.
that's a really, like,
You need to
God
counter.
damn. That is a
Like,
low win rate.
It is. And the reason why is because he's so easily... Like, think of all the things that can do a lot of damage to several.
However,
like
from
Shaker.
up to 4K, he's just unstoppable.
Yeah. Like, Pit Lord just destroys him. Earthshaker destroys him. Medusa destroys him. Aghanim's Medusa absolutely dumpsters him. Ember Spirit kills him. Gyrocopter kills him. Who else? Sven destroys him. Timbersaw absolutely ruins his day. Like, there's a lot of heroes that do. So, basically, you need to last pick him. But if you last pick him and none of those heroes are there, you're going to have a great game.
21. Yeah, if you got like a 25% chance that just through the luck of the draw, actually less than 25% chance, because a lot of the heroes you just mentioned are really popular.
Yeah, and they're really popular, and they're actually like good in the patch, right?
Yeah.
So I mean,
DK
yeah, I like DK. DK's pretty good right now.
also has that scary 150 GPM talent.
Yeah, a lot of those strength heroes really need it because they have such bad farming, and that's why nobody ever picked them, right? So, like, if you look at what he's worse versus, like, look at those heroes that he's worse versus right now. Like, talking about CK, like Dusa. Timbersaw, Sven, Phantom Lancer, Sand King, absolutely dumpsters.
Yeah, if you're bad against Sven and Medusa right now, you're gonna have a bad time because those heroes are so popular.
Underlord, Enigma, just because of the percentage on his third spell. Phoenix also has percent damage on his Sunray. Elder Titan.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
It's all percentage damage, like or pure. Or really good against strength heroes. Like Timbersaw is obviously very good against strength heroes, right? And then Sven just can clear his ultimate.
Elder Titan has Elder Titan has an 84.2% win rate in 5K and above.
Yeah, you pick him when he's really good.
That's insane, dude.
Dude, like, you don't realize how good the hero actually is because you don't play him. But
I mean, I've always thought he's good. I assumed he'd have a high win rate at the 5K bracket, but 84%.
You enable your team so much with that hero. Like, you need heroes that can do like a lot of damage. Like he's so good with certain ones. But just like how Natural Order works.
Natural Order is like one of my favorite abilities in the game.
Base armor reduction and base resistance 100% at level 4. Like around your Astral Spirit, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's if you're near the enemy player like your hero is, then it gets the armor reduction. If your spirit is near the hero, then it's the resistance, like the spell resistance, gets the reduction.
Oh, I thought they were both centered around both.
No, it's around the spirit and the other guys. So if you put your spirit and stomp somebody, like, he has no magic resistance.
Yeah.
At all. And if you're near the hero, they have like no armor.
That's good to know,
No
because I thought that they were both tied to, I thought the spirit could do both. So you actually have to put yourself out there if you want to get rid of that armor. Yeah, he actually makes every single agility hero useless.
Yep. He's amazing against agility heroes.
And anti-mage. Actually no, because anti-mage's passive would make him good against magic still. Because I don't think that affects the passive.
No, it doesn't. It's just base resistance.
Yeah. DK +2 mana regen or +30 attack speed. I feel like the win rates are identical, even though the attack speed's way more favored. I feel like I would go for mana regen just so that I could spam Dragon Breath more.
You get Soul Ring anyway.
That's true. That's true.
And I mean, by the time you're like at a high level, it shouldn't matter, but it's still okay on him. Like I could see either. The attack speed's a lot though. That's like a free glove of haste.
Yeah. Yeah, who cares? How are you going to get 2 mana regen?
It's actually better than gloves of haste. It's 50% better than gloves of haste. So that's like
It's an arm. It's the same as a Midas.
yeah. So it's like if you think about it this way, it's like an $800 item ish, right?
Yeah, 750.
Three. Yeah, so 750.
Okay, so before items were like Ring of Basilius gives you, or like Bassi gives you 0.5 mana regen, and that's 325. So multiply that by 4, and you're at like 1200. Actually, you're at 1300. So it's actually more money to get the mana regen than the attack speed.
Mm-hmm. But it doesn't facilitate his other ability.
Yeah.
Like it's just centered around Dragon Breath.
Yeah.
That's it.
And stun, but yeah.
Yeah, stun, whatever.
As long as you have a soul ring.
If you have a Basilius, like a soul ring, like you're fine. Honestly,
yeah.
A soul ring and a wand, like you're fine for early game. You don't need anything else. You don't need a bottle.
The thing about the 30 attack speed is like you get to a point where you're 6 slotted, which you will get to if the game goes on long enough because this hero has the GPM talent. But like when I'm 6 slotted, do I care about 30 attack speed or 2 mana regen more?
30 attack speed.
Because he doesn't have, with just his base attributes and the items he wants to buy, he doesn't have mana issues in the late game, does he?
He can. Like especially if they have mana drain, like against an
plus 2 mana regen is good at all points in the game.
Yeah, so is 30 attack speed.
Yeah.
Like I would get 30 attack speed, probably the damage, just because he builds a lot of strength items.
Yeah, the level 15 talent is the biggest toss-up for me as well.
Yeah.
It depends.
35 damage is pretty good, though.
Yeah, 35, it's like, if it were like 25 and 300, I'd probably go to 300, but like the 35, we're starting to get up into like a significant chunk of damage there, so.
I think you go the health, though, just to make him tankier.
Especially because of the fact that he has so much regen. It's like on Alchemist, getting flat health bonuses is so big because you already have regen.
Yeah.
So
unless you get Armlet.
Even with Armlet.
Yeah, Armlet's really good on DK. I think it's
it's a core item on him. It's been that way for 5 years.
You go like Soul Ring, Drums, Armlet into like BKB or like a Shadow Blade or a Blink or something.
Yeah, it's like I feel like you get Brown Boots, Soul Ring, finish Treads, then you go Armlet. Sometimes even Armlet before you finish Treads, and then and then you go either Blink Dagger or Shadow Blade, and that's just been the way that's the way the hero has been played the entire time that I've played Dota 2. So for over 5 years now.
Yeah, dude,
5.5 years. It's pretty
24 armor, 20 regen though.
I know, it's so like that level 20 talent is so absurd on both sides of the coin. That's so unreasonably good. Like
it's very game dependent, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Very game dependent.
Remember, armor can't help you kill. Armor's not gonna let you kill things, and neither is regen. But I mean,
it's basically a free plate mail.
It's better than that. It's like I can leave Armlet on now. I can leave Armlet on now.
Yep, and you have 20 regen, 20 health regen, and 24 armor. So that's such value.
Yeah,
that's so much armor. That's so much armor.
And it can't be stripped.
It's free armor.
Yeah. God.
Dragon Tail, that's such a long stun with that 25. That's
how much is it?
That's like a 5-second stun at level 25.
Oh my god, that is a 5-second stun on a 9-second cooldown. With
cooldown.
No cast point.
With no cast point.
5-second stun.
40 strength though.
His talents are pretty damn good.
40 strength.
40 strength is a lot. That's to put that in perspective. Sven's talent at level 25 is 40 strength when God Strength is activated. Only when God Strength is activated.
Yeah.
That's so ridiculously good.
That's 15 more strength than a Reaver.
That's a heart, I think. A heart's like 40, 45?
40.
40.
So it's basically a heart.
It's a heart without the
health.
Yeah.
And the 7% regen, but you don't buy a heart on DK anyway.
Yeah, you can, but it's not.
I would never buy a heart on DK.
Yeah, he's got so much regen as it is.
You need other items.
Yeah, Satanic
Like,
maybe.
No, I wouldn't even get a Satanic.
Really? Even if you're 6-slotted?
No, I wouldn't. I would rather get a damage item. He's already so tanky, dude. You don't need more tank. Like, it doesn't give that. It gives okay damage. And stuff,
one of the things that I like about DK is that he is so inherently tanky, and his skills are kind of offensive. That makes it so you can just build. You can use his offensive skills to farm, and you can just kind of always buy damage items and utility items instead of defensive items. I hate having to buy.
You basically always need to BKB though.
Carbon Bond is actually an official sponsor now. Welcome, Carbon Bond.
Oh, thank you. Congratulations.
Sweet. I don't know, Carbon. Carbon's like the actual, Okay, so I right-clicked it so I could, like, pin it, but it wouldn't let me pin it. Like, all of the choices, I almost want to bring this up on stream, all of the choices when I select the new sponsor banner is like, do all these bad things to this user. It's like remove moderator, put in timeout, permaban, and I'm like, how do I just pin his message to the top of my chat? Thank you, Carbon Bond. I guess I would add sponsored by Carbon Bond to the stream, but it's already all over the stream. We'll make it bigger. We can rebuild it. We can make it better. There we go.
I like DK. DK is a really good hero right now. In the right team, though. He needs to be in the right team, or else he will just not be that great. He needs a pretty hard carry to go with him.
Like, yeah, I kind of agree. He loves to build items to do damage, but he doesn't actually do damage. Like, even when he's
not as much as like an agility hero.
Yeah, he doesn't like he's
he can't carry. He can't solo carry.
Yeah, exactly. He just he can kind of. I mean, I don't know. Like, maybe if you got him 6-slotted with a Battle Fury. Hold on a second. I'm grabbing something. My legs are so sore. Okay, I'm back. He's like the hero where I'm like thinking about like if I had a Daedalus and a like cleave on you, could I get anything done? And I don't think I could.
No, I wouldn't buy either of those items on him. I wouldn't even buy a Daedalus on him. I don't think.
What do you want? If you were position 1 or 2 DK, and you're 6-slotted, what do you want?
Bots, BKB, Kuros. Oh, what else? I could see you having like a Sanji Asha or something like that eventually.
6-slotted?
Oh, 6-slotted. Okay, I'd probably get a Silver Edge for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Silver Edge, Kuros, BKB, bots into a damage item depending on the game, so maybe MKB. I guess maybe Daedalus, but not really. I could see a Satanic, I could see a Bloodthorn, I could see a Mjolnir, depending on the game.
So he's basically a hero that just deals out a decent amount of AoE damage. Actually, Daedalus would be pretty good because of the level 3.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. I just don't think it'd be like that'd be like a level 6th item, you know?
Give me 1 second. I'm getting a phone call from someone we're trying to do New Year's plans with.
Okay.
Hey, buddy, what's up?
I head out right away, too.
I'm still here. I'm alive. You still with me, Emperor?
Yep, I'm still here.
Okay, cool. My buddy's like, so I called him earlier. I was like, "What are we doing for New Year's?" And he's like, I don't know, but I got these ideas, and I'll hit you up and let you know what we're doing." And that was like 4 hours ago, and he called me, and I'm like, "Yo, what are we doing for New Year's?" And he's like, "I don't know, but I got these ideas, and I'll call you and let you know in a little while." I'm like, word.
Yeah, I actually need to head out. I'm supposed to be at a buddy's house in about 45 minutes.
Yeah, I need to actually make like a meal because, so you guys don't know this. We originally planned on doing this at around 2 p.m. Eastern, and I slept till like 4 p.m. Because I streamed until 7 a.m. and then I lifted and just like drank a protein shake and like so we could start doing this immediately. So I'm pretty damn hungry. Hence the granola bar. Thank you to Carbon Bond for like being the official sponsor. I don't know what that means. Like he's an actual YouTube sponsor. I don't know like I don't know if there's like if that just means like you add like a monthly amount of money to my channel. I mean, if so, that's awesome. I have no idea how any of this works. I've just enabled it. Either way, I'm just gonna keep doing what I do and say thank you more often. Any shoutouts for you, Emperor?
Just wish everybody like a happy New Year.
Yeah.
Everybody like has a great time and is safe tonight. So don't drink and drive, kids.
Yeah, don't drink and drive. Happy New Year. Be safe. Oh, and one more. I got a vintage meme for you. I got a vintage. Be careful with this meme. It's an antique. You ready?
Okay.
Everybody follow Liquid Red on Twitter. Do you remember that?
Liquid Red.
Follow Liquid Red on Twitter.
Like way back.
Yeah, that's. I told you it's an antique. You gotta be careful with it. way back when someone didn't. Yeah, they announced his opponent's Twitter, I think, and they didn't announce his, or he commentated a game and they didn't give him his Twitter handle, and everyone else identified by their Twitter handles.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
at the very end, he complained about it. So for like 6 straight months, every single major tournament, like during the shoutouts, even if it was like a completely separate event, like we're talking ESL doing like post interviews, and this was like an MLG where Liquid Red didn't get a shout out, like people would just be like, follow Liquid Red on Twitter, like all over the StarCraft 2 community. People were like, for like a year, like 6 months to a year, everyone just said that.
Yeah, and they would just laugh afterwards.
Yeah, they'd just be like, follow Liquid Red on Twitter, follow Liquid Red on Twitter. Like every single podcast, every single show, just like, I wonder how many followers he got on Twitter because of this.
Fairly decent amount.
He has 30.1 thousand subscribers.
Good for him. Worked out for him.
Yeah, Yoste Kroon. I don't think he's competitive anymore, which sucks because I loved watching Rhett play. I loved watching Liquid Red play. He was so sick. But he was streaming Brood War back in October, so he's probably still around. Buy a Dagon for a Dragon? Yeah, Carbon says you buy a Dagon for a Dragon.
Sure. Turbo mode, why not?
I mean, what happens in turbo mode is going to spill over and bleed into your pups. It's not going to stay in turbo mode.
Yeah, and it'll suck in real Dota.
No, it won't. Not everything will. A lot of it will.
You're gonna get like mid max penitence and test of faith with Akaya Chen. And he's just gonna dumpster somebody.
That's the dream. Thank you.
He's just gonna absolutely blow up like a support hero.
I know. I want to see like a Shadow Fiend just like midding 1v1 against a Chen, and then like around like 10 minutes, like both of them just being like passive as hell, just farming, just like nobody's really trying to gank the other, and then out of nowhere at like 10 minutes, the Chen just blows him up, just instantly kills him, and he's just like, what just happened?
Yeah. Like
just Dagon first or something, just instantly just blows him up, and he's just staring, like he's just staring at a screen like, whoa. Like he's not actually like he's looking at all the numbers like, was that all the Chen? Like
he checks his battle log on the top left there. He's like, what happened?
He scrolls through and he's like, I think this is a bug. And then just like I just want to see that shocked like, ooh wee.
That's always good.
So happy New Year to y'all. We got New Year's in about 2 hours. It's currently 9:51 p.m. So in 2 hours and 10 minutes, it's New Year's here. I'm gonna go make a big dinner and then hopefully hear back from the few like close real life friends I have who live near me, and we'll probably they want to go to a bar, so I might not eat and just go out and eat when they get drinks, and then go to their place afterwards and hang out for a bit. So if that doesn't work out, you will see me streaming some content later tonight. If that does work out, Godspeed until tomorrow. I'll probably be doing content tomorrow. I'm trying to stream every day.
Yeah, I'll also be around.
And if that starts to inevitably fall through, then I'll just start actually making content again, where I make video. It's funny, like my actual making content is just making jungling guides. That's what the people want.
Yeah, and it's terrible.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's not good right now in Dota.
It's not a good look for me, but it's also like netted me like 5,000 subs this year. So
just gotta give what the people they want. It's got to be the right game and hope it's like nobody like punishes you.
Turbo
punishes
Dota.
All
it's
the other lanes.
Turbo Dota.
It's turbo.
Just
yeah,
do it in Turbo. You can actually do it really well in Turbo, or just do it in Huskar. Yeah. Just do it with Huskar every game. Just pick Huskar every game and you just win.
Yeah.
You can juggle Huskar every game. He's the best jungler. He's actually like better than he's definitely better than Enigma for most players.
Just get Stout Shield, Quelling Blade, Tangos on Legion Commander and
on any melee hero.
Yeah.
On any melee, you heard it here first. This is what this show's all about, by the way.
In turbo mode, like totally.
In turbo mode,
melee hero.
Any melee hero. Or just use Monkey King and Cliff Jungle because he's technically like he's kind of a ranged hero.
Okay, I'm leaving. I'm done with that.
Here, this is going to be immortalized on the internet forever. Thank you so much, Carbon Bomb. Really, if you guys enjoy this content, please hit those like and subscribe buttons and consider sponsoring us like Carbon Bomb has. And you can have your name under his because he's the first. He's always been so flippin' generous with us and supported all of our works. So hopefully Wired will be back around sometime soon. I'm looking at Steam. Like I always try to hit up Wired, but he wasn't online today, so I just went with it. In the meantime, Emperor will probably be joining me a lot. Hopefully we can have a show with all three of us on here. I think that would be a really, really, really fun time. Because like Wired and Emperor and I have like this old head knowledge and experience in the memes. Wired has a little bit of a StarCraft background, but he's also like an actual like good player. Like he's like 6 point something MMR. 6 point something.
Nice.
K. Good night, dude.
Good night.
Again, thank y'all so much for watching, and yo, low-key, Chen's actually good. Leave it at that.